Good morning, one and all. Welcome to the last session of the FDP, that is the 14th session. So, we thought of having this session because today all of us are so busy in our daily routine. That is, we are handling multiple responsibilities. Most of us are uh, in our career, busy in our career, handling the family, social life. We are so much busy that we are all almost deviated from having a healthy life. We are not finding enough time to, concentrate on our health. So we thought of having this session so that we get some tips to practice a healthy life. So for that we have a speaker of the session, Dr. Siddeshwaran V. So before welcoming him, I'll give a brief introduction of Dr. Siddeshwaran. So Dr. Siddeshwaran V is a professor in the Department of Conservative Dentistry and Endodontics, College of Dental Sciences, Davangere. He has completed his Bachelor of Dental Surgery from the Oxford Dental College and Hospital, Bangalore University in the year 1999 and Master of Dental Surgery from Conservative Dentistry and Endodontics College of Dental Sciences, Davangere in the year 2007. He has over 12 years of teaching experience. He has also been invited as a guest speaker in various forums on stem cells in dentistry, practical tips on ergonomics in dental practice, how to write and publish a research article, and dissertation writing. As a foundation to all these, apart from his profession as a dentist, he is also practicing the heartfulness way of life since 13 years and conducted several heartfulness meditation sessions in various schools, colleges, and organizations. It's our honor to have you as a speaker in our session of the FDP, sir. I'm sure the participants will enjoy the session. I welcome you, sir. I welcome all the participants.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, ma'am, for your kind introduction.
Over to you, sir.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much, ma'am. So respected elders and dear friends of the electronic and communication fraternity, we from the Heartfulness Institute extend a warm welcome to this session on practicing a healthy lifestyle. And we also take the opportunity to thank the AICTE Academy of Training and Learning along with the Malnad College of Engineering for giving us this vital opportunity. And my special thanks to Professor Dr. Triveni Madam for coordinating with me and making this program today. And we will begin with the session with 2 minutes of, ma'am, I want the next slide. Next slide, ma'am. So we'll take a couple of minutes to browse through these questions and to know whether we know all these things, because the discussions, upcoming discussions will cover all these things. So I'll just be muted for 2 minutes. We can just browse through these questions. Fine, ma'am. We'll go to the next slide. So Friends, the objectives of the presentation will include an angel's story, and also it is not just a theoretical thing. We will be also having an experiential meditation session for few minutes, and finally we'll have the learnings, discussions, question answers, and summary also. So I'll begin with the next slide, ma'am. I'll begin with this story of a person. Next, please click, ma'am. Please click. Okay, of a person who is named I, and he is infected with some disease, and he is in the hospital. And while he is in the hospital in the night, he has a question. Ma'am, please click, ma'am. He has a question. How can I prevent all these diseases from happening? So he raises a vital question within himself while he is on the bed and is going to sleep, and with that question he sleeps. How to prevent all these diseases? So please click, ma'am. And when he sleeps with that question, an angel appears in this dream and replies. Please click, ma'am. So that's the thing. I need to keep repeating. Please click. I'm very sorry for it. And so. And the angel replies, we need to practice a healthy lifestyle.
Excuse me, sir. You can
Yes.
take over the presentation, sir. You just try it once again now.
Yeah.
I'll stop sharing now.
Okay.
You try it once, sir. Now.
Shall I share and try, ma'am? Okay.
Yeah, you just try it now, sir.
Okay, I've closed it. Sorry, I'm breaking the continuity.
It's okay, sir.
Is it visible, ma'am?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay. Fine. So the angel appears in the dream and it replies that we need to practice a healthy lifestyle. So then I in the dream itself exclaims that is it really that by practicing a healthy lifestyle we can prevent all these diseases? Then the angel with conviction tells that definitely yes. So then I prayerfully request that okay, what should I do to do all these things? So then the story from the angel continues, and the story is now recited by the angel, and the angel tells the story of a city called body, where various areas are called organs in it, and each areas had several families called cells, and in each cell there was a kitchen. Every cell has a kitchen which is named as nucleus, and every kitchen had a robotic chef called DNA. So at the dawn hour, at the dawn, that is just before the sunrise, the robotic chef receives a signal and it produces the food called PER, and then it is taken by the messengers to the family members of the entire uh, cell, and it reaches there, and that food is served by all the family people, and they actively involve themselves in the working over the whole day. And the similar thing at the twilight of the dusk, again the robotic chef, the DNA, receives one more signal and it produces called as a food called as TIM, and that is also carried by the messengers to the family members, and it is stops the production of period protein, and then it is food is eaten by the family members and they go to sleep. So in the morning, the period is produced, PER food is produced, and in the night TIM is produced, and the morning food is necessary for having a very active involvement in the day-to-day work, and the evening food TIM is required for. I think someone is talking.
ದುನಿಯಾನೇ ಅದು ಎಷ್ಟು ದುನಿಯಾ ವಿಜಯ್ ಅಂದ್ರೆ ದುನಿಯಾನೇ.
Okay, I'll continue. So in the evening, after the TIM is produced, it is necessary for having a very sound sleep. So this is the story which the angel told I, and this story, I think sharing is also stopped. Okay, yeah. This story has a very important application in each of us. So because we can see this chart at around 6 o'clock, okay, there is a release of cortisol. There is a release of cortisol. And in the evening after 6, okay, there is a release of melatonin. And science has already proven that cortisol is required for normal day-to-day activities, and melatonin, which is produced by the pituitary gland, okay, which is there behind our eyes, the main gland of our body, the master gland of our body, that is the melatonin which is produced by pituitary is required for a sound sleep. So now, listening to this was actually the pioneering discovery of these three scientists, Jeffrey C. Hall, Michael Rochbaugh, and Michael W. Young. And the discovery was on circadian clock, biologic clock. So they discovered and they published in this proceedings, and based on this, they still produced a lot of studies, and it was done on mammals and humans also, and which closely matches that during the rise of the sun, cortisol is released, and after the sunset around that time, melatonin release starts producing, and which is very important for being active and sleeping respectively. So this was the thing which was shared by the angel, and now the angel has a question, and now a person I has a question. Is this concept new, or was it mentioned even in olden traditions? Then the angel replies that this was mentioned way back in the year 600 BC by Sushruta, sage Sushruta, where he told that one is in perfect health when the digestive fire, all body tissues and components, and even the excretory functions are in perfect order. So we should keenly observe the word order. So what does order mean? Order means one after the next. So it has a time sequence. So everything has a time. So that is what is the secret revelation, what has been told in this sloka by Sushruta in the Sushruta Samhita. Now further, the angel tells that in the 2nd century BC, that is after so many years of 600 BC, the Chinese gave a biologic clock. Okay, they have dissipated whatever the sloka, and they have given a biologic clock, the Chinese body clock. So which tells that we'll start with the lungs. So the lungs is active. What does this mean? This chart mean is each organ has a specific working time. So we have so many organs, and we should know when is that each organ actually works to its peak level. So we should remind ourselves that it is not that the organ does not work during the other times. It is continuously working. Every cell in our body, every organ in our body is continuously working. But it has a peak working time. That is, during these 2 hours of time, its activity is at its peak. So its energy levels are at its peak. So we'll start with the lungs. So according to the Chinese body clock, which is closely, all these things in toto is not proved, but majority of the things are proved by the 3 scientists that it is having those peak activity times. Especially lungs is proved, stomach is proved, heart is proved and the kidney is proved that, and the liver and gallbladder is proved by the three scientists who did study on this. Rest of the things are yet to be proven, but our elders have already given us a clock. We will discuss about it. So it is at the morning 3 a.m. to 5 a.m. the lungs are very active. So what are lungs used for? Lungs is used for oxygenation. We all know, because of this COVID era, we are all well aware of the lungs. So it is necessary for oxygenation of our body, and oxygen is the actually energy supplier of our body. Without oxygen we can't survive. So, and the peak activity of this lungs is at 3 a.m. to 5 a.m. So what can we do best? So we need to do some exercises such as breathing, inhalation, exhalation exercises during that time, so that we keep that lungs active. So because it is already active, it's in peak activity, it works better and it takes the signals also better. So that is the idea why our elders gave yoga practices, that is pranayama, breathing exercises, just before sunrise. So because the energy oxygen which is required for the active functioning for the whole day is given by just doing a simple inhalation and exhalation exercise. And we need not do some uh, big exercises also. If we are not able to do so, we can just have a balloon and we can just blow into the balloon and release. So that itself will increase our lung capacity. It's a simple thing, because if we are not aware of any such pranayama or yogic practices, we can just blow a balloon and repeat it for around 6 to 7 times, so that will increase our lung capacity, and automatically whatever inhalation and exhalation happens by pranayama is also happening by this simple exercise. So 3 a.m. to 5 a.m. is very important for activating our lungs. And then moving on to the next 2 hours period, that is 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. it is the large intestine which is very active. Then what is the function of this large intestine? Large intestine absorbs most of the water content, absorbs the electrolytes, and the majority of the absorption happens, and after all absorption happens in the large intestine, okay, it is finally excreted by the large intestine. So the final absorption and excretion process happens during this 5 a.m. to 7 a.m. and this is the time where we will attend our nature calls, take bath, and other etc. has to happen during those times. And then moving on to the next, 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. is the peak activity of a stomach. What is stomach? Stomach is nothing but a small sac which is present in our body, where it receives the food what we eat through our mouth, and it acts as a transit area, so that it mixes with all the digestive enzymes, so that the process of digestion can begin. It stays in the stomach for roughly the food what we eat for 2 to 3 hours, and then it goes to the next part of the body, that is the small intestine. So the peak activity of the stomach, or the cells of the stomach, okay, are in its peak activity at 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. So that is the time where we have to have the richest meal of the day. So richest meal of the day in the sense, all carbohydrates, proteins, fats, whatever we are supposed to eat for the betterment of the health, we have to eat during at this time. That is where the digestion process is at its peak activity. Stomach is at its peak activity. So we can roughly take stock of ourselves, each of us, are we doing according to this? So then we'll move on to the next 2 hours, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. So it is the time where the spleen is actively working, and spleen is a very important part of our body, where the old RBCs, that is the red blood cells, okay, and the various cells which is present in the blood gets replenished. And if at that time after 9, if we are hurriedly eating a breakfast, then the stomach has to take its activity, and we are depleting the blood supply to the spleen, and the spleen doesn't do its work. That's when we get anemia. We become pale and we become less energetic. So having a breakfast, okay, anywhere around after 9 a.m. is giving problem to the spleen. And what happens, even though we eat regularly, what happens is it is the RBCs are not cleared off because it was not given its peak activity interval. So that's why even though we eat, we are not having that absorption capacity because the RBCs are not replenished properly. So that is the idea of having our rich meal of the day during the peak activity of the stomach from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m. And we have to restrict even having tea, coffee also at around 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. because it is going to shift the flow to the stomach, which we are going against the nature, the body clock. And then we have the heart, 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. and heart, we all know it sends blood circulation to the entire, from head to toe, it sends the blood circulation. It's very important for our living. And its peak activity may mean that any manual work is there, heavy work is there, where the heart will be put to stress, we have to do at around 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. So heavy works, okay. We are all teachers, maybe we will not have such an heavy work. So, but whoever are involved in heavy work, they can get they can do that manual work which is necessary at 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. without any strain on the heart, because heart is already pumping in a better way because it is its peak activity time. Then we have 1 p.m. to 3 p.m. where the small intestines are at its peak activity. And what is the small intestine? This is nothing but after the stomach we have our small intestine, where the food after 3 to 4 hours it moves to the small intestine, and where the actual absorption happens. Absorption of food, whatever we have consumed from 7 a.m. to 9 a.m., the digested food absorption happens. The beginning is in the small intestine. So at that time, if we eat a rich meal, what happens is, again we are depleting the peak activity. We are somewhere stagnating the peak activity of the small intestine because the circulation gets shifted to the stomach also. So they recommend that we have to eat such foods for lunch which are easily digestible, which are having a rich water content, such as a salad, cucumber salad or vegetable salad, so that it favors the digestion, okay, so that we also don't become acidic. It is not recommended not to eat anything, we need to definitely eat, so but we need to have some modifications, and we need to eat such foods, okay, fruits, okay, which favor the absorption and digestion, which is not so heavy for the stomach to digest. So that is the think about small intestine. And then we have 3 p.m. to 5 p.m. where the bladder is at its peak activity, and the bladder is nothing but a small muscular sac which is present in our body, and it holds the liquid excreta, that is our urine, so that it doesn't just spill out whenever it desires to. So it sends signals to our brain, and we have a reflex called micturition reflex, and then it sends the liquid excreta, the urine outside. And if we can all recall back our school days, so we will be having a short recess interval during this time, okay. It's just to attend our nature's call, and maybe we'll have a PT period and like that. So even the elders also have designed something like that, which is somehow it is become in tune with the body clock also. Then we have the 5 p.m. to 7 p.m., which is again one other vital organ of our body, which is kidney. So these kidneys are very important because all the waste which is present in the blood, okay, all the acidic and the alkaline imbalances which can happen in the blood are all removed by the filtration process in the kidney. So this is the time where our elders have recommended, okay, some prayers for us. Okay, so vital times, our elders are very intelligent. Okay, so they have the morning sandhya, which is before sunrise, that is 5 a.m. time, and then they have the mid sandhya, okay, which is in the heart. And it is not only the sandhya, almost all walks of the religions, whatever religion it may be, they have this key times as prayer times. Before sunrise, one prayer time will be there. Mid of the day, one prayer time will be there, and in the evening, one other prayer time will be there. Okay, that is during the after the sunset process. During the process of the sunset, there will be a prayer time. Why is they have recommended all these things is because these three vital structures, lungs, heart, and kidneys, okay, when it is functioning at its peak, we need to relax. We are not supposed to do anything much. So they recommend breathing exercise and meditation before sunrise, and then prayer also before sunrise. That's called the Brahmi Muhurta also in the Indian culture. And then we have the afternoon prayers, and we have the evening prayers also. So it closely matches the functions of the vital organs, so that we relax, we are at peace during those times. And when the lungs, heart, and the kidneys function very much normal, our entire health will get adjusted and it will become normal. That's the idea of this biologic clock. So then we have to go to the next 2 hours, that is 7 p.m. to 9 p.m., which is the pericardium. This is pericardium means, cardia means heart. So that which covers the heart is what is called as pericardium. It is a small membrane sac-like thing which covers the heart, and that membrane is very, very essential for the functioning of the heart. So that is the peak activity time, and even during those times also we need to be at rest. Then we have the next triple warmer. Triple warmer is now scientifically being proved as the interstitial cells, which surrounds to the whole body. It is just a space which connects each of the cells. So that actually sends signals and to all parts of our body in each and every cell to keep it in homeostasis. Homeostasis means balanced condition. So that balanced condition is obtained with this triple warmer, and it is where it is present. It is present spreading over our entire body. So the peak activity of that is 9 p.m. to 11 p.m. and it is indicated that at that time we need to definitely rest. We should go to sleep during at that time, because the entire body is going to a relaxed mode by the triple warmer peak activity. So we need to keep that also into considerations. Then we have the gallbladder and the liver for the next 2 hours. These two are very important for fat metabolism. So whatever fat we have in our body, okay, excess fat collects around our pelvic area, hip area, and other parts of our body when we are awake after 11 p.m. and even after 9 also sometimes, because when the triple warmer is active, maybe around 10 is the right time to go to sleep. And after that, all very, very important organs which is necessary for rejuvenation of our body, that is including the triple warmer, gallbladder and liver itself are at its peak activity. So this is the cycle which was given very way back, and now our scientists who got the Nobel Prize, okay, have found it is true for most of the organs in this body, and still studies are going on. So with this, as it was explaining, the angel was explaining, now another important question the person I asks: what prevents us from being in tune with nature? So now he has the, okay, all this is right, but what is preventing us from being in tune with nature? Then angel replies, okay, it is epigenetics. So what is this epigenetics? Epigenetics is nothing but the thought process which actually surrounds us. So because Dr. Bruce Lipton is a cell biologist, is a very famous cell biologist. So there are a lot of books written by Dr. Bruce Lipton, and he is a medical doctor and a scientist who has explored much into this cell biology. Okay, and he has written a beautiful literature. Very lot of collections are there. You can just browse Dr. Bruce Lipton and you will get his books. And the key findings of this Bruce Lipton is epigenetics. Earlier, we were all thinking that it's the genes which is actually controlling us. But now, the research of this Dr. Bruce Lipton has given us that it is the thoughts, or the environment which actually has an effect on the genetics. Okay, so we saw in the earlier slides that when the sun rises, okay, that is the environment. Okay, so there was the genetics which was present in the DNA inside the nucleus of the cell, okay, triggered, and it produces a food called PER, and during sunset it produces a protein called TIM. So it is the environment, okay, which is actually having a control on the genes. And it is not only the external environment, it is even our internal environment, that is the thought process, which he found out that what we are thinking, it is translated into chemistry, and that will determine what we become. So that is what is the control of the environment over the genes, and which is very apt during this present times. So environment. So that is what is epigenetics. In simple words, it is in single word, it is scientifically called as epigenetics. So this is what is, and now the angel also tells that completes the Sushruta Samhita, in which one is in perfect health when the digestive fire and all body tissues and components, all excretory functions are in perfect order with a underlying balanced state of mind. So this is the exact translation of Sushruta Samhita. So if at all body organs, entire body has to function in perfect order, the underlying thing is balanced state of mind. So we need to have a very much balanced state of mind. So now the next question is by the I is that what are the features of the balanced mind? How do you know that I am actually in a balanced state? Then the angel replies, a balanced mind will be attentive, will be always determined to do its whatever taken work, and it will also be dedicated in it. So we need to have develop this, inculcate or cultivate these three features, that is attentiveness, determination and dedication, for having a balanced mind. So the next question is how to cultivate all these three things. So it's at this junction we need to log into our heart. So why heart? We need to log into our heart so that we can. That's where the heartfulness, the role of heartfulness is becomes vital. So what is that? By using heart, okay, we are going to be in tune with nature, and we conduct sessions, okay, which are all free, and there are no charges. If you just type heartfulness, you will get to know what are the various programs which are given, and maybe each of you can take up this 90 days of heartfulness challenge also. But however, today as a part of this program, we shall even experience the what happens during when we do this meditation. So in heartfulness we focus on meditation, and this meditation, how it is different from other meditation is, this meditation is guided by yogic transmission. So what is this yogic transmission? So for understand this yogic transmission, we need to know that we are surrounded by the sacred source. Okay, the source is there all around us. Okay, the divinity is there all around us. So because from childhood we have been taught where is God, we tell that it is there everywhere. Okay, that is the common thing what we our elders have taught us. And what is God? It's nothing but some superpower or some cosmic power. So where is that cosmic power? It is there everywhere. It is surrounding and enveloping us. And now the next question comes, now why we have to meditate on the heart? Okay, we understand that the cosmic power is there everywhere. So but in meditation we are supposed to log into our heart. So why heart? So why heart means, the reason for heart is because again we have been taught by our elders that the place of residence of the divinity in our body is our heart. So heart is the place where divinity resides. This is according to our elders' teachings. And scientifically, if you take, okay, so if a person has to be declared alive, okay, his heart should be functioning. But if the heart stops, then the doctor declares that the patient is no more. So heart is the place where life force is activated. Even if the person is not breathing, he can be put on ventilator, and still if the heart is functioning, he can be kept alive for so many days. But however, if the heart stops, he is declared dead. And even if the patient is under coma, that is, even if his brain is not working, still the patient is not dead. Only when the heart stops, the patient is declared dead. So heart is the place where the life force is present, that prana is present. So we have a cosmic energy, and we have the limited part of the cosmic energy which is present in our heart. So the process of this heartfulness meditation is, by logging to heart, okay, we are receiving the cosmic energy to our heart. Why is this process required? So that the inside and the outside becomes balanced. Okay, so when that balance happens, what happens is we become in tune with nature, and we obey whatever our entire body and our mind, okay, becomes balanced, and it will be definitely in tune with nature. So to bring about that balance, we receive this yogic transmission. From where does it come? It comes from the cosmos, the energy which is surrounding us. It does not come from any X, Y, or Z. It just comes from surrounding us. So what does it do? Okay, why we need to practice this meditation is because we just now discussed that it is the thoughts, it is the environments, okay, which is actually preventing us from becoming in tune with nature. So what is the environment? We always have a wandering thought. We are not focused. Okay, so that's what disturbs us. So the wandering thoughts are being addressed by this yogic transmission. It acts on those wandering thoughts and gently reminds it to be in the present. So what is my work when I am meditating? I just meditate, that's it. So but we need to begin it. So to begin, we have a switch. So to receive the yogic transmission towards our heart, so we need to take this suggestion that source of light is already present in our heart. So this is what is the suggestion, the key thing what we need to take when we meditate. And when we take this suggestion, what happens? Yogic transmission which is enveloping me is being received by our heart, and then it acts on the wandering thoughts and tries to bring that in the present. So will it happen? Let us experiment it and see. Okay, it's the day one experiment what we are doing. So if you all are okay, maybe we can have a short 10 minutes of this session, and this meditation will be preceded by a relaxation, and it is heartfulness relaxation, where I will be telling some suggestions starting from the foot and finally coming to the heart. So once the relaxation phase is over, it is a preparation for meditation. Then we take the suggestion of meditation, that is source of light is already present in our heart, and we meditate. It will be a silent phase, so where we will be meditating. So can I proceed with that, madam?
Yes, sir, you can.
Okay. So you can all sit in a relaxed way. Wherever you feel comfortable, you can be relaxed. So keep your eyes closed. I'll walk you through this process of heartfulness relaxation, followed by heartfulness meditation. Breathe normally. With your eyes closed, bring your attention to your feet area. We are beginning with the heartfulness relaxation as a preparation for meditation. The energy from the Mother Earth is entering the feet area and relaxing all the parts of your feet. The energy from the Mother Earth is moving towards your lower legs, relaxing your calf muscles and knee joints. Feel your calf and knee joints relaxing. The energy from the Mother Earth is moving towards your upper legs, relaxing your thigh muscles, feel both the limbs deeply relaxing. The energy from the Mother Earth is moving towards your hip area, stomach, and chest areas. Feel all these areas deeply relaxing. The energy is now moving to your upper back, the entire spine, relaxing the whole of your back. The energy from the Mother Earth is moving towards the neck area, shoulders, moving down the arms, moving out of the fingertips. Feel all the tensions in these areas melting out. Gently move your attention to your face. Feel your jaws relaxing. Feel both the eyes, earlobes, nose, forehead, top of the head, back of the head, all relaxing. Now the whole body from top to toe is completely relaxed. In this relaxed state, gently bring your attention to your heart. Feel the love and lightness in your heart. Gently take the suggestion that source of light is already present in my heart. I repeat, source of light is already present in my heart. With this suggestion, please start meditation. Be open to receive yogic transmission. That's take your time to open your eyes. So, so we had an experience of this heartfulness meditation, which utilizes yogic transmission for the guidance. So, if any questions or if you'd like to share anything, you can please.
Hello, sir.
Yes, madam.
So I had a question. Like you said that during the time from around 1 to 3, like we shouldn't have heavy meals and prefer salads or fruits maybe. But should we avoid carbohydrates totally?
No, not necessarily, ma'am. All these things is not to be done outright. Okay, slowly we need to transform ourselves, modify our habits. If already we are having an habit of having a heavy meal in the afternoon, okay, we should cut down bit by bit. Okay, quantity has to be reduced and later modify. It is better not to eat even carbohydrates also. Because it is recommended that afternoon to have an salads, that is which is not boiled, or you can even sometimes boil vegetables and you can have, otherwise fruits. So the idea of all these things is that because when you don't boil, okay, the total energy, minerals, okay, what we call it as prana shakti of that food, okay, is in toto. So when it is in toto, what happens is less digestion is required for its absorption. Okay, so as it is absorbed in our body. So the stomach is not put to a load. So that is the idea of having salads and fruits during the afternoon hours. And in the even during the evening times, that's night dinner, also should be a very light dinner, maybe a soup or or some fruits like that we can have. And but it takes some amount of good amount of time to adjust to all these things. It is not to be, and maybe we can take the help of a nutritionist also, okay, or our physician, anyone whom we generally keep in touch, and then you can bring the necessary changes.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you.
So one more question. So
Yes,
the waking up time in the morning would be around 4 or 5. So like according to, and like go to sleep by 10.
yes, ma'am. Waking up time after 4:30, 5 o'clock, I think it should be ideal. And then sleeping is maybe within 11 p.m. Okay, so it is better to sleep at around 10 a.m. so that that triple warmer also is given some chance, okay, to revitalize our body.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Thank you. So can anyone share how was the meditation? How did you feel? Um,
Anyone from the participants end? Anyone can share your feeling? Sir, I think you can continue. Sir.
Fine, ma'am. So, fine, this is the simple process of heartfulness meditation utilizing yogic transmission. So, mm, there are trainers all over the world, okay, and they will be present even in your nearby locality also. So, if you just you can write heartfulness trainers in your locality in the web, in the site Google, you will identify someone, and all trainers, all of us provide this training free of cost only. Okay, there is no charges involved in this to learn and relearn this method of heartfulness meditation. Okay, so with this I welcome you all to experiment on this, and any for queries further also, I am going to post my number. You can even call me or mail me. So definitely I will get back to you. And coming to the summary of whatever we discussed, we have something called as a circadian clock, that is the biologic clock that anticipates and adapts our physiology to different phases of our body. So what does physiology means normal functioning of our organs of our body. So this the clock, whatever is different phases of our day, is the day and the night. So the sunrise, so it all depends on sunrise and sunset. So the sunrise and sunset is the key thing which actually maintains our circadian clock, biologic clock. And the science of environment affecting genes is called epigenetics, and our environment is made up of thoughts. And the practical approach of utilizing yogic transmission for getting a balanced state of mind is what is called the heartfulness way, and that's what the heartfulness offers. And by practicing this, both our mind and body will be balanced and will be healthy, and that is what is we need to experiment. Okay, so these are all not statements to be taken just as it is. Okay, these are all the offerings what the nature provides. Okay, one thing is the nature gives us sunrise and sunset, and our body will anticipate it, so we should mold and adapt our lifestyle accordingly. And the second thing what the nature provides is the yogic transmission, because it is enveloping us, the cosmic energy is enveloping us, which is called as yogic transmission, or in Sanskrit it is called as pranahuti. So that energy, it is up to us to take it into ourselves, within ourselves, so that we even have a balanced mind. So whether it does all these things happens, okay, we need to experiment, and once we experiment we can have a sound health, and once we have a sound health we can design our destiny, and once our destiny is fine, then that becomes the foundation for our next generation. So it is both from a professional end also and personal end also. So that's from my side. So by doing all these things, generally our mind is always trapped with the fears, because we have so many thoughts which are fear inducing. So the practice of this, okay, is going to give us courage. So from the mind we go to the heart, and that's what heartfulness is all about, so that we can soar up in the sky with both the wings. One is material wing and the other is the spiritual wing. So both are required for having an easy and smooth flight. So that's it from my side, and this is what I posted in the beginning. So we can maybe you found answers for all this now, and thank you all. Thanks you once again for being patient with this session, and thanks for once again for the opportunity also to each of you, and even Malnad College of Engineering and the AICTE Academy of Training and Learning. Thank you, ma'am, and thank you one and all.
Thank you, sir, for accepting our invitation and giving such a wonderful way of having a healthy lifestyle to us. It's really very nice to have you, sir, in our session, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much, ma'am. So, ma'am, I will sign out from this, ma'am.
Yes, sir. You can sign out, sir. Thank you, sir.
Thank you.